What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel, Gooners Therapy. We're going to talk Arsenal Crystal Palace. We're going to preview the game. Going to delve into what starting 11 Mikel Arteta should go with. He's got some headaches now, hasn't he, with the form of the appearances of Martinelli and Skelly against Atletico Madrid. But before we get into it, guys, if you could just hit that like button, subscribe. It's going to mean the world to me and my boy Dan, who I do the channel with. We've both been on Arsenal Fan TV, or AFTV as they call it now, and a lot of you guys have subscribed from seeing our appearances on that, and I thank you, and I thank anyone who watches our videos. I remember at the start thinking, could we even get to 100 subscribers? And now we're on, I think, at the time of this video, 744, road to 1,000. Please, guys, hit that like button, subscribe, get us to 1,000. Anyway, let's get into it. Arsenal Crystal Palace. Just how crucial is this game? Look, like I've been saying, if you watch my stuff, I say football changes very quickly. And it's changed very quickly, not just for Arsenal, because of course we could have went 8 points. Remember everyone saying we were 5 points behind Liverpool, we could have went 8 points behind. Had we lost to Newcastle, had they beat Palace, but things didn't happen like that. And now we're here 3 points clear at the top, 3 above City, 4 above United. And that's what I'm going to come on to now, Manchester United. I've just finished watching the game against Brighton. Phenomenal performance. I thought Casemiro for 60 minutes was like the Casemiro of Real Madrid. But football can change so quickly. And you just look at United now, they're only 3 points behind us. I know we play tomorrow, but we have to beat a good Crystal Palace side. You know, God forbid we didn't. Suddenly there's only 3 points between Arsenal and United. It's crazy, right? But this is why, you know, football can change very quickly. And I'm someone who does get carried away with Arsenal right now. And, you know, some of my fans, Dan, who I do the show with, tune into our lives, by the way, Monday, 8:30. Fridays at 10 o'clock, we've got lives, and it gets heated between us. We're very different Arsenal fans, but he will always say to me, Dan, I've been here before, and we have been here before as Arsenal fans. Maybe I'm getting suckered in and I'm falling for it again, but I don't know why, but something just feels different. This team, they feel like a group of men now. In 2022, 23, they felt like a young team, and, you know, could we do it? Could we ride on our momentum and win the league? Of course, we had to play City twice, and we were 8 points ahead, and you know, in the end, you can say we bottled it, you can say we ran out of steam, we had injuries, Saliba went down, whatever happened, we didn't win the Premier League. The season after that was the best time to go and win it, and we missed out by a mere 2 points. And of course, last year, we all know that the injuries were just very, very unfortunate. But we're here and we're in the driving seat at the moment. Can we go all the way? Well, if we're going to go all the way, we need to go on winning runs. I'll take you back to when in 2017, when I remember going to a game when Arsenal beat Chelsea 3-0, Antonio Conte's Chelsea 3-0, I think Ozil, Sanchez, we was on fire, and I came out the Emirates thinking, wow, you know, and I was thinking Chelsea are really not that good. They went on to win the Premier League that year, and I remember it, they won 13 games in a row under Conte, and that's what led them to the title, and they got, I think, 95 points that year. And Manchester City, obviously we know the crazy runs they go on. They can win 14, 15. We did it in 2023, 24. We won 17 out of our last 19, and it still wasn't enough. So for me, although it wouldn't be a disaster if we were to draw against Crystal Palace, because they are a good side, listen, I still think it's must-win territory. We need to keep that gap between ourselves and Manchester City, who do have a tough game against Aston Villa, and I'm tipping Aston Villa to get something from that game. At the time of making this video, the Liverpool game has just kicked off, so let's see what happens in that game. I'm predicting a Liverpool win, an easy, straightforward win. Brentford have been good, but I just think Liverpool are going to have too much class. They've just scored 5 goals in midweek in the Champions League, and I'm predicting an easy win for Liverpool. So, but who knows? Who knows? Hopefully I'm wrong, guys. Hopefully I'm wrong. But moving on to Arsenal Crystal Palace, Mikel Arteta has said in his press conference that Gabriel has 24 hours to be assessed. Let's see if he hasn't trained all week. Look, for me, I would be playing Gabriel even if he's 60% fit, because up against Mateta, he is, you know, he's one of the top 3-4 strikers in the league. Right now, I could only think of Haaland that's better than him. I can't really think form-wise if there's any other strikers that are better than him, because Isak's not on form. Gyökeres is not really, he's playing well now, he's getting there, but Mateta is scoring hat-tricks. He misses a lot of chances, but he scores a lot of chances. I think he's got 5 in the league now. He's doing really well, and he's a real handful. And to be honest, I never used to rate him. So you've got to give the guy credit. 32 years old, getting called up for France as well. But look, what I'm saying is I think we need Gabriel and Saliba for this guy, because he will even give them problems. Throwing in a Mosquera against Mateta, I don't know, I'm not sure. But look, there's other options he could go with, you know. So let's say Gabriel is out. Who do we bring in, guys? Let me know in the comments. Do we bring in Mosquera or do we bring in Henapke? Hope I'm saying his name right. Henapke, who a lot of Arsenal fans, and me included, we're not really thinking about him that much. And you know, he was an expensive signing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was he 60 million or was it 50 million? But he was an expensive signing. He was part of Bayer Leverkusen's unbeaten side. And there's someone who comes on our show, Anton, a good friend of ours, and he comes on our shows every Monday on Gunners Divided, and he watches Bundesliga football, and he thinks he's going to be our main starting left back in years to come. But he can also play centre back. He played in the back three for Bayer Leverkusen on the left side. So could he come in? Could he come in for his debut? He's aggressive. He's tenacious. He's not quite tall, but could he come in? There's 3 different lineups we could go with. I'll put this one up here, and obviously this one is, you know, the team sort of picks itself. I've got Martinelli in there because I think surely now Martinelli has to start. I know he's been favouring Trossard, but Martinelli was excellent when he came on the other night. He got a great goal. I feel like to break Palace down, his pace could be crucial, but he may not start him. He may wait to bring him on because he's been doing better as a sub this season. Let's be real, he has. So possibly, you know, I've got Martinelli there because I think he'll start. But the key is the defence. So obviously in this image here, I've got Mosquera with Saliba, Timber, and Calafiori. I think the midfield picks itself right now with Odegaard being out. So it's going to be Eze, Odegaard, and Eze, Odegaard, but Eze, Zubimendi, and Declan Rice. Now I'll just throw this other one up here. So this is what I would go with personally. I would bring Skelly into left back because he was excellent against Atletico Madrid. So I'd put Skelly in left back and I'd bring Calafiori into the left centre back because he can do a job. But you just have to tell him, chill out a bit. Don't go galloping so much. Stay back for this game. You're playing centre back. And I think he can do a job. He plays centre back for Italy. It's his natural position. You know, so I think I would go with that because then you get Skelly in the team as well who gives you something different. I don't think the drop-off will be as much. I think Mosquera, he's a very young lad. He's done well, but putting him in against Mateta, I'm not so sure. Who would go on the right, him or Saliba? I can't remember. I know they both played together against Port Vale. Can't remember if Saliba went into the left or he did. And there's one other option, which I mentioned, and I'll just get it up here. And this is with Henapke, the new guy, right? Could he fill in? Because I think he actually has been brought in to be Gabriel's replacement. Because on the left side, we didn't really have a replacement. If Calafiori started in left back, there's no one to replace Gabriel, like for like, left-footed, who plays on the left side. Well, he can play there. So he could be the natural player to go in that position. But let's see what happens. To be honest, he probably will go with Mosquera because he's done really well so far, albeit in the Newcastle game he was a bit shaky, but other than that he's been good. Personally, I'd put Calafiori in left centre back and I'd have Skelly at left back. What a run, what an assist in the game against Atletico Madrid. Gyökeres obviously has to start. Stacker, the star boy, is back. He's going to start, and for me, it's got to be Martinelli. He's got 1 goal in the Premier League. Of course, what a goal it was against Manchester City to get us a point in the last minute. He's got 3 goals in the Champions League. He's doing very well in the Champions League. But for me, Martinelli now can go on a run. Who knows, could start proving all of us Arsenal fans wrong. Because even me, being a positive fan, I had run out of patience with Martinelli because he's not been good enough for probably 2 seasons now. Let's be real. But there is a player in there. And for me, if we can get Martinelli on top form, it's better than Trossard's top form. So hopefully Martinelli can have a good game, and hopefully he starts against Crystal Palace. Scoreline prediction. Look, we've not been conceding goals at all, but I just feel like Palace on the counter, especially if Gabriel doesn't play, I feel like they could get a goal, but I'm going for Arsenal to continue the goal scoring their goal scoring form. Obviously scoring 4 against Atletico Madrid. I think we could get 3 goals, and I'm going for a 3-1 Arsenal win. Now let's hope that Brentford can get something in this game going on now against Liverpool, and let's hope Aston Villa can get something against Man City. But the important job for Arsenal is to do what we have to do, get the 3 points at home for Arsenal and stay ahead. Keep this momentum. Then we play Sunderland and Burnley, both away. You would think that we'd go and get those 3 points. But shout out to Sunderland, beating Chelsea today. Every week, there's one result that makes me smile, or a few results. Obviously, always Arsenal, and we've been winning most weeks. But then Liverpool or City or Chelsea, someone seems to lose. And Chelsea, man, look, Chelsea need to start getting some stick, man, because they lost $1 billion. They've spent way more than $1 billion. And everyone say we've spent $1 billion. Well, they've spent way more than $1 billion, yeah? Right? I would like to know the exact figure. Someone let me know in the comments if you can. But they've spent way more than that. So, you know, and I was on the football terrace on Straight Facts, and I was arguing with LB. He's a Manchester City, YouTuber, right? And he was like, you know, Arsenal have to win because they've spent the money right. And I said, well, why don't Chelsea have to win? And he said, well, they've not spent the money right. Well, that just doesn't make sense to me. If you spend money, you expect to win. Simple as that, you know? But yeah, I'm going for 3-1 Arsenal. I think Skelly and Calafiori to start if Gabriel doesn't. But if Gabriel is 60-70% fit, I'll be putting Gabriel in. Let me know in the comments, would you risk Gabriel? Would you play him at 60-70% fit? Or would you just say, no, rest up, man. We don't want to lose you for any more games. Rest up for Burnley and Sunderland. Of course, we play Brighton midweek as well, which for me is a big game. I know people won't see it like that, but I think Brighton is a big game, guys. Reason being, if we can win that Carabao Cup, it's in February, mid-February or March, latest. If we win that, that's the crunch end of the season. If these boys have then won a trophy, they've got that monkey off their back. Arteta's got the monkey off his back. Although he's won the FA Cup, it was a long time ago now. This team, this group of players with Arteta would have won a trophy. And I just think, if you're in a title running for like the last 8 games, and you've just won a Carabao Cup, and you've got a quarter-final or a semi-final of a Champions League, but you've won something together, I think it would give them so much confidence. So I think every competition is key. We need to pick up as many trophies as we can. We're on the cusp of something great here, and don't take any competition for granted. Let's try and have a clean sweep. Could we go and win 2, 3, 4 trophies? Could you imagine it? Could you imagine Holloway Road? Could you imagine the scenes? I'm getting carried away with myself now. So I think I'm going to calm down now. I'm going to go and watch Liverpool versus Brentford. Hopefully an entertaining game. But guys, smash the like buttons for me. Subscribe if you're new, if you're a new viewer. And if not, if you're a subscriber, please jump in the comments for me. Give me some comments. Give me some interaction. You're all really pushing us to do it now. We're getting quite a lot of love, and we appreciate it, man. But yeah, watch out for me. Hopefully be on AFTV tomorrow after the Crystal Palace game as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Come on, you Gooners.